CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Welcome back to Chicken Clash. I am your host, The Chicken, and in today's video, guys, now that our second playtest is done of Supercell's newest game, Project Rise, aka Clash Heroes, if you've been hanging around for a minute, I wanted to give my honest feedback and review on the game in total. And we did this a little bit in our last video, but I feel like now that it's been out a little bit longer, you know, we've had more people have had the chance to play it, we've seen more of the common things come up as feedback. I felt like it was a good time to do kind of an honest review, and I did play the game for quite a bit, so you know, I have some things to say on it. So you guys want to stick around for everything Project Rise, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's get into it. So right out of the gates, I think Project Rise is in a very good place. And why? Because I think the most important thing in any game, in any mobile game, or you know, especially looking back at some of the more recent Supercell games that have come and gone, you know, with Clash Quest and Clash Mini and all that stuff, the core gameplay has to be fun. And that's something where, you know, Clash Quest was like a puzzle game, Clash Mini was like a chess game, and one of the problems that Supercell had with those games was that they just weren't necessarily for everybody, right? They were niche games, which, you know, maybe why even come out with them in the first place if that's the idea, but that's, you know, a discussion for another video. So what I will say about Project Rise is that the game plays really well. It's really fun and it's satisfying. I love the feeling of going around and, you know, the actual attacking people is nice. You know, I wish there was more to the base attack than just tapping. Like, you can see the main button on the screen right now, like I'm just spamming attack. But once you get the perks and stuff, that's when it really starts to become more satisfying. And I'm hoping that they just add a little bit more mechanics to just the basic attack button. So what I will say is that the gameplay in running around and, you know, killing the enemies and stuff, it's very satisfying and it is fun. So I think that's the most important thing with this alpha test to discover was like, okay, do we have, you know, a foundation to build on here? And I think the answer is yes. But it's stuff like this, like the Whirl Axe count, you know, increasing the number of axes. That's the fun stuff. Like the abilities are the, you know, enjoyable part of the game. And there's so much that they could do with this. There's so many different ways that they could expand on that. But one thing I would really like to see is something that makes the attacking feel a little bit more skill-based. And obviously there is going to be skill. Just broke my pen. There is going to be skill built in this game, and, you know, in the synergy between your teammates, you know, the players that you're going against, how you attack these maps, who's leading, who's hanging back, you know, who's healing or whatever, when to use your special abilities, when to not use them, when to rush, when not to. So, I mean, there's obviously skill, you know, baked into the game. But, yeah, I think having a little bit more control over the actual attack so it doesn't just feel like running up and doing the same thing. I think that's honestly one of the, you know, bigger problems with Squad Busters right now is just that, you know, everything, and that's what most new players say too, is like, I'm just running around, I'm attacking stuff kind of, you know, randomly. I don't really know what's going on. You know, so having a little bit more control over that I think would be really cool. So yeah, core gameplay, good, and they can definitely build on it. And like I said, you know, I want to see more abilities. I don't want to see the perks pop up just in the middle of the game and stop. You know, like, this is really clunky, it seems like, and I think they know that. I think they're going to change that. That was one piece of feedback I saw from pretty much everybody that was fairly loud and clear. Was the perks just popping up randomly was kind of weird. Although I do like the idea of, you know, leveling up as you go and like trying to, you know, take specific perks that are going to help out your specific team in whatever level that you're in. Like, that's cool. That, you know, again, comes back to strategy, and it's just fun. It's just fun. So that works. But yeah, it just needs to be done in a different way. We can't have the perks coming up and just stopping the game mid-match. That is definitely very annoying. So aside from that, I think the worlds are cool. And obviously they're going to expand on that. Again, this is pre-alpha, which means it's not even an open beta yet. This is more so, in my opinion, for them to see. That's why I harped on the core gameplay for the most part of this video. It was to see if that was good. It was to see if that was good and if that worked. Obviously, they're going to add more levels. They're going to add cooler things. There's going to be better backgrounds. I assume it's not just going to be a floating, stone walk in the sky with very little scenery or kind of stuff that makes you feel you're like in a certain world. Because that's one of the things that I think can be really cool about this game too. Is just the fact that it's in the Supercell universe and it's a different look, which is cool. Now, another thing that I touched on already kind of in the last video, so I'll just go over it again briefly now. I think there needs to be a better overworld or hub world, which again is not something they need for an alpha playtest. It's all about the gameplay. But having a place that you can go back to and make the game feel a little bit more, I don't know how to say it exactly, a little bit more yours kind of in a sense, I guess. Just where, you're going back, maybe you've got a main base, and you can buy different things at a shop. Maybe it's all online. Maybe you can actively trade with other players or something like that, although that would open things to win trading and stuff. But you know what I mean, just having a little bit more interaction with the world around us, because again, I do think that is going to be a big draw of this game. Being able to walk around in a Clash of Clans style environment would be really cool, and add in another way to level up your troops, because that is again one of the more fun things about this is just kind of not only leveling up your troops and making them stronger as you go, but kind of customizing your playstyle with the special abilities that you can get is also kind of fun. So yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways that they could go with that, but yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to make this out into something that it's a good. My honest review is that the game's good because it has a lot of potential. I think my honest review is focused more so, like I said, on the core gameplay aspects of this game first coming out. And, is it fun? Is it playable? Do you get really sick of it after 10 minutes, or could you play it for an hour straight? Which is kind of double-sided, for a mobile game, because I do feel like this game would be fun to play, for a couple hours with friends, over voice chat or something. But, I don't know if that's necessarily, a good thing for a mobile game, because I think you need to have, for a mobile game to be successful, I think you need to have the toilet aspect. Can you play it for 3 minutes and put it down? From what I've seen, you're not really able to play this game for 3 minutes and make any progress. That kind of goes back to the hub world, I guess, and to see, how the progression is going to work. Maybe I just missed something there too, so I don't want to talk about that too much. But yeah, overall, I felt like the game was really good, and it can use some polish. It can use a little bit more skill-based attacking, and it can use some more features and stuff, obviously. But again, early on, so it's kind of to be expected on those fronts. But yeah, so I want to hear your guys' feedback just from watching. It's different to watch than it is to play. But my very first impressions on this, playing it earlier than when I played the first time I played Brawl Stars, it was in beta testing, I believe. It wasn't in alpha testing. So it was a little bit later on, and this is way better than my first experience was with Brawl Stars. I did not like Brawl Stars at the very beginning. I found it very clunky. But yeah, so that's the honest review on Project Rise. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more. Check it out. Back.